So, I am. What a freaking night. What a day Saturday was. I mean, that honestly was some of the greatest wrestling I've watched in a long time. I do not lie when I say those words. I did an earlier recording of my NXT Stand and Deliver reaction, but I'm deciding to do the reaction on top of my WrestleMania review and reaction to it. So, my level of excitement is pretty much higher than it's ever been. And I feel so... Yeah, I just feel like WWE, when you least expect it, just go above and beyond what they're supposed to do. People think, oh, WrestleMania didn't have that much build this year. But take a look at Mania's X7 31 for like a recent example. That Mania, those two Manias are perhaps, well, X7 is the greatest Mania of all time, and then X7 already says the greatest Mania of all time, and 31 is a top 10 Mania, for some maybe a top 5. Like, this Mania had not that much build, but there was a ton of build into the big match that's coming up this Sunday, or should I say later tonight, because it is 1 o'clock, it's Sunday now. But, oh man, what a freaking night. What a night. Let me start off with NXT Stand and Deliver. First of all, where does the preset come from with NXT? That they're still bad, that they're not as good as what Black and Gold is. Because honestly, they might be a bit better than what Black and Gold was. 2.0 is probably better than Black and Gold right now. And I say that with no exaggeration or hyperbole. The kickoff show started with the Toxic Attractions, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez for the women's tag titles. I thought it wasn't a bad match. I thought it was just a good crowd heater. It wasn't all over the place, is what I would say. There were a little bit of misses of like moves here and there. Spots didn't go as planned, but it wasn't too bad. Raquel and Dakota did win the tag team titles after interference from Wendy Chu, who got her revenge on Toxic Attraction for taking her out from the finals. That was a really nice match and a good crowd opener. And then the ladder match just blows everything away. Absolutely phenomenal. That's how you execute on a ladder match. Santos was a star. Sikoa looked good. Everybody looked good. Cameron Grimes winning was the right move. Honestly, I thought it was an emotional moment for him because he recently lost his father. Rest in peace. And at the same time, it was just unbelievable, non-stop action. Don't check on Grayson Waller, though, because he's probably resting on a sore elbow. That's definitely broken, and that's perfectly fine, because he deserved it. But I would say that is one of the best ladder matches I've watched in a long time, and that was a match that definitely delivered, and then some, probably over-delivered. The interference of almost everybody from each side besides Cameron Grimes. Trick Williams got involved. Legado del Fantasma got involved. Grayson's manager got involved. It was just awesome. Awesome. All around awesome. I could not have watched a better match than that. Up until Tommaso Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo, which was also a really nice match. Honestly, it might have not been the best of matches, but it was fine for what it was worth. It was a really fine match, and, hate the theme, but Ciampa, it was an awesome tribute. It was an awesome tribute to Ciampa, and is what most likely is his last match in NXT, for sure, because he went down doing the goods for D'Angelo, and what was a good match. It was fine. It was a good match. It was a nice showing for Tony, and 2.0 was for real. Tommaso will forever be remembered as the standard of NXT, by far. Black and gold forever, and then he stood on the ramp with Triple H. That almost brought me to a tear, and it was early in the day. That was really early in the day. I don't got time for crying. And when I thought that match was good, there's another match that just goes above and beyond. The Triple Threat Tag Team match for the tag titles. Imperium, MSK, the Creed Brothers. Creed Brothers may have looked a bit off, but then again, they were really fine. MSK were on their game, and so was Imperium. This match just did not stop with the pace and how it was absolutely phenomenal. They don't miss. Tag team matches feel like they don't miss in NXT. They stole the show again, and the action was just unbelievable. MSK winning the tag titles. Honestly, not disappointed by that result. If I'm being honest, that's the right result to go to. The Creed Brothers honestly aren't ready just yet, but they are going to be in the near future. And MSK, with the crowd honestly turning against them, there's a chance that they could turn heel, but at the same time, they might keep a babyface because they're a high-flying team. They stand ground. But, wow, I just could not get over that. I really could not get over that match. I'm still not over it. Oh, my goodness. What a match. This might be my favorite 2.0 show ever. Maybe. There was the Nikita Lyons promo package, and Cameron Grimes cut a promo after winning the North American title. He worked 3 years. He worked his ass off for 3 years and told his father his father told him he would make it, and he's more than just a WWE superstar now. He is a WWE champion. Joe Gacy had a little promo in the center of Dallas somewhere, and then there was a recap of the pre-show, and then the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Title, or the Fatal 4-Way Women's Title match. Mandy, Cora Jade, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray. Might be the weaker of the matches, but at the same time, not bad. Really not bad. I hope Kaylee Ray does not have a goddamn broken neck, because she took a goddamn Canadian Destroyer onto the goddamn apron. But I did have Cora kind of winning, and I am very sorry, Mandy. Please forgive me, Mandy. You were great. You were great. This match was great. I'm truly sorry, Mandy. Please don't hurt me, Mandy. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I thought that Toxic Attraction could have gone down like this, but you did not go down. Please forgive me, Mandy. I bowed to you. I really do bow to you. The match was great. The match was fine. Forgive me, please. And then from a cool down, we had a little bit of the thing with Index and Dusha, but who the fuck cares? LA Knight versus Gunther. Again, Gunther looks, his shape is absolutely amazing. It was physical, brutal. For a calm down, it was a stiff, nice match. And at that moment, I was just like, Stand and Deliver is 5 out of 5. Up until the main event, which dead proved it was goddamn 5 out of 5. Because the main event match was an absolute, what Dolph Ziggler always calls himself, a show stealer. Jesus Christ, the main event between Braun Breaker and Dolph Ziggler was amazing. It just felt like none of the matches really disappointed at all. And like NXT just kept moving at a pace which has been so consistent for months and months and months and months. Actually, for years since its build, since it became NXT from FCW, the move has just been unbelievable. Even losing guys like Cole, Riley, Bobby Fish, Bobby Roode, even earlier on in the time period, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, the list goes on. They just continue to move at a pace that's like no other. And the match itself, the NXT title match, even with Dolph winning, which was a surprise result for me, because I really thought Braun was going to win this match. He didn't. And he looked absolutely phenomenal. He stayed strong in defeat. This was a phenomenal match. This was still a top-tier title match for sure. And I really am excited to see the next several weeks of how this will all play out on NXT, on TV, and seeing how when Dolph Ziggler is honestly going to lose his championship. Because it feels like, at this point, who is he going to lose it to? Braun? I don't know, but maybe anyone. I really don't know who Dolph is going to lose the title to. But at that moment, I was like, 5 out of 5 already. WWE Saturday was off to a great start. And then WrestleMania starts. My God, this stage looks awesome. And there's going to be another night at this, so Jesus Christ, it's going to be freaking insane. The America the Beautiful was sung amazingly, although I didn't really hear too much of it because I was in the kitchen probably cleaning off a little bit of bowls and stuff for my guests. But it was a nice rendition. The pyro, the stage, the crowd, molten freaking hot. From the moment that Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs made his entrance, the guitar, and then Boogs, unfortunately, apparently has suffered, in words of WWE officials and medical personnel, a quadricep patella tear, which I researched is going to take him out for 4 to 6 months. That is a shame. I hope he recovers really soon and really quick, because really, what are you going to do with Shinsuke Nakamura by himself? We don't know. But for what it was worth, the tag team match, it got off to a good start. Then the injury happened, and they had to rush to finish, which is a shame, but it was a fine tag team match for sure. Drew versus Happy Corbin, fine for what it was worth, and at the same time, it wasn't really too bad. I thought Baron Corbin actually looked really good, and we saw our first kick out of the End of Days, which is an absolute shocker, because the End of Days, from the moment that Baron Corbin used that move, has been protected for years. Up until now, when Drew kicked out, which was unbelievable. Like, that was an absolute shocker. My God, I literally almost had a voice crack when Drew kicked out of the End of Days. And Drew winning obviously was the decision that was going to happen. And then he decapitated the ropes, almost decapitating and slicing Madcap Moss in half. Stay away from Drew, please. Corbin and Moss. We had the Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul. And I swear if I was in that stadium, they had to arrest me. Because I would run over the barricade, tackle Logan Paul, and punch him to an oblivion. Because I fucking hate him. On everything. I hate Logan Paul. But for being such an insufferable bastard, he looked really good in the ring. That actually really hurt to say. He looked really good. I hate to admit it. He looked absolutely great in this match, and then they got the win, which hurt a fucking ton. And then the Miz apparently turned on Logan Paul with a soul-crushing finale, so is Miz a face? Which is interesting to see what the direction is going to be now, but most likely he will stay heel. Then again, it was just something to get the crowd to get heat back on Logan Paul for being such an inseparable, egotistical, easy to hate asshole who's probably the most punchable person in the world right now, if we're being honest. By that moment, I thought, well, if that happens, then honestly, these predictions are so far out the fucking rear. And then Stephanie McMahon introduced Gable Steveson, which wasn't too bad. Just a random introduction of a guy who hasn't debuted yet. And we got the Raw Women's Championship match between Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. The entrances, first off, Becky getting an unbelievable Marvel-style video package. Hands down, that was awesome. Only for Bianca Belair to top her entrance, getting a freaking marching band. Like, what do you say? The two laid it all out for how long that they went in that ring. It was a perfect match. I will say it one more time after. I'll say perfect again afterwards, because like this perfect's probably going to be used more times than ever to describe night one, because it just felt like that, besides like a few stuff. It was just, the women's match was just perfect. The Raw women's title match, No miss whatsoever. Although it almost gave me a early heart attack. Jesus Christ. But Bianca getting her women's title win back after losing it almost 8 months later. This is what I said at SummerSlam. Relax. Let it play out. And here it is. Bianca Belair is the Raw Women's Champion. Comeuppance. Patience. You don't have that. Learn how to have patience. It benefits. It was absolutely amazing. It was a phenomenal match. I had no issues with it whatsoever. Probably will be one of the best matches, women's matches of all time at this point. And then if it didn't get better, you thought it didn't get better or wasn't going to get better, here's Seth Rollins taking on Cody fucking Rhodes. First of all, Seth Rollins had a whole choir for him. Like, come on. He had a whole choir singing, whoa, whoa, like, to the match of his theme. Like, just how Bianca Belair had the marching band. And Seth his gear, Seth when he comes out for WrestleMania just looks like a god. And he was a god tonight, in a sense. In that match, no words. Perfect. They let Cody keep his theme, his attire, everything from what he was in AEW. This guy's going to be world champion very soon. Very, very soon, Cody Rhodes is going to hold a world championship in WWE. He's either going to hold the Universal Championship, the WWE Championship, or maybe in my case, I hope they do, the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is fucking back, dude. Oh man, you love it. I have no words. The Hall of Fame afterwards, everybody from Queen Sharmell, the Steiner brothers, Shaq Gaspard, Vader, rest in peace to both of those two, by the way, and also the legend, the greatest of all time, The Undertaker, cemented for good where he belongs. The whole entrance, the shebang, everything. And then the attendance of 77,899. Obviously, that one is going to also probably be higher or maybe even a bit lower the next night. And the combined is going to be around like 150,000, which is going to be freaking insane. The SmackDown Women's Championship match, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey. It was all good until the screwy finish. This is what I will say was the damper in the Mania card. This was probably the weaker finishes of the night, but at the same time, the match was still solid. Obviously, the match was going to be good. Charlotte Flair is the best in-ring wrestler out of anyone in the company. And Ronda Rousey, for what she is, she's really good in the ring as well. These two did not stop for a little bit. If it wasn't for that finish where the referee gets knocked down and Charlotte hits the boot, this match would probably still be in the ranks of like being one of the best women's matches of the night, not of the year, not to the lengths of Becky versus Bianca, which obviously was going to be the best match of the two, but still, it just sucks. But at least there's a rematch coming. I'm going to be patient with it. I'm not really too disappointed with it, but I am disappointed that Rousey did lose this match at Mania, and Charlotte's reign is going to continue for just a little bit longer, although I'm not mad that Charlotte Flair lost, because I am a huge fan of Charlotte Flair, and I've said that numerous times. And then, finally, the Kevin Owens show with Stone Cold Steve Austin. "19 years ago, Stone Cold Steve Austin felt like he wrestled his last match in Safeco Field at WrestleMania 19 against The Rock. 19 years later, Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestles probably his last match, where he wrestled his first match almost 30 years ago in Dallas, Texas, in AT&T Stadium, against Kevin Owens. In a no-holds-barred match. Impromptu? Yes. Absolutely fun? Yes. Everything I wanted in a match that I wanted to see. Fucking yes. Actually, you know what? That's not even the words. It's, oh, hell yeah. Kevin Owens, you are amazing. Stone Cold Steve Austin, you are without a doubt one of the greatest of all time. And for even that short minute, you did not look like you even lost a step. My God. And unfortunately, I do have to mention this. New Day versus Irish Fight Club did get canceled for night 1. Hopefully they do get on for night 2. But regardless, what a fucking segment into a match, into the crowd just going insane all throughout. Stunner. Austin wins. Celebration, beer all over the place. The referee even got a beer. Stone Cold celebrated with his brother, which I didn't even know he had. And then Byron Saxton ate a stunner, which cracked me the hell up, and is still cracking me the hell up inside, because Byron Saxton is the biggest fool in all of sports entertainment, in all of wrestling. My God. What a freaking night. For night 1, night 2 is set to either implode in WWE's face or give the fans probably a top 3 WrestleMania all time. I said it. This has the makings of being a top 3 WrestleMania all time. This either for many people will top WrestleMania 30 or top WrestleMania 19. For me, this will top WrestleMania 30. Because 19 is in my number 2, I believe. Or maybe 30 is in my number 2 and 19 is in my number 3. For me, this will sit at number 5. Not even number 5. This will honestly sit at number 2 for me if this all happens. Like, yeah, 30 is my number 3. This might top. And night 2 delivers what night 1 did. This will be a top 3 WrestleMania all time. Some people will disagree. I would understand. But you have to look at it in hindsight. For how bad they kind of booked the show so far. For what they did tonight. This was perfection. It missed a bit in some spots. A little bit. And there was an unfortunate injury to Rick Boogs. Everything was perfect. Even the McIntyre Corbin match, good. The tag match, the opening tag match, was pretty good. The Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul, even for the result, good. The Raw Women's title match, perfect. Seth versus Cody, perfect. Even the SmackDown Women's title match, for the bad result, it was good. And then the Stone Cold stuff, perfect. I give this a 5 out of 5. I'm hoping for my whole rating, I can give this a 5 out of 5. Maybe even go above. I've never gone above 5 out of 5 just yet. But this has the makings of being a 6 or 7 out of 5 event. We have to see what Night 2 delivers. And Night 2 has some really good stuff on the show. The Triple Threat Raw Tag Team title match has the makings of being a good match. The Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Title match has the makings of being a not-so-bad match. The Anything Goes match has the makings of being a good match. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory has the makings of being a really solid match. Bobby Lashley versus Omos, really solid. Edge versus AJ Styles, probably even one of the greatest matches in the last decade. Winner-take-all match probably has the makings of being one of the greatest matches of all time. Live up to his moniker. This was fucking perfect. Perfect. And that's where I'll leave it. So, do you disagree? If you do, that's understandable. But if you don't, I'm happy to have a conversation about this. So let me know in the comments. I have a stuffed up nose. I'm very excited. I'm gonna get some beer tomorrow. I'm gonna have a really good time. Peace and love. And happy WrestleMania.